Good day, good day, good day. How are you all doing? Thank you for joining us at the Hope Global Forum. We are Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And today we'll discuss Phi Beta Sigma's historical blueprint of empowering economic engagement in the Black community. I'm joined today by 4 august beings from the fraternity, and I'll introduce each and every one of them to you. We have our new international president, Brother Chris Ray. See, if you clap, somebody's gonna have their feelings hurt. Our immediate past president, Michael Crystal. Our immediate past director of Bigger and Better Business, Reginald Slush. And our chair of the Sigma PAC Committee, Brother Kendrick Faison. Today's conversation is going to discuss our 100-year history of being in the community and providing opportunities and initiatives for the communities to support themselves with a sustainable plan. We're going to start with a short video and then we're coming right back.
In the words of Dr. I.L. Scruggs, the Bigger and Better Negro business idea was first tested in 1924 with an imposing exposition in Philadelphia. This was held in conjunction with the conclave. 25 leading Negro businesses sent statements and over 50 set exhibits. The whole show took place in the lobby of the YMCA.
And that there was a basic premise on all of them, and they were centered around humanity, service, business development, working together, trying to bring individuals together in different walks of life.
The response was so great that at the 1925 conclave in Richmond, Virginia, the conclave voted unanimously to make Bigger and Better Negro Business the public program of the fraternity, and it has been so ever since.
All right, Brother Michael Crystal and team, what is the significance of having 20th century community service organizations such as Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity continue efforts to educate everyone on the need to know the history and to effectively teach and retain the history of economic development in the United States for organizations such as ours?
Yeah, what a great question, Daryl. When you think about what the video spoke to, 1924, Phi Beta Sigma had only been founded 10 years. So these were young, college-educated men who saw the need to amplify our vision at that time, culture for service, service for humanity, and recognizing that economic empowerment was critical. When you look forward beyond that, as the video also spoke to, we invited African-American businesses to come and not just showcase their wares, but also create an opportunity for us to, at that time, advance economic empowerment. We recognize that in order for our community to really grow, to really manifest, it was important that we showcase to whom much is given, much is required. And if you even go further than that, 1976, Phi Beta Sigma started our first and only at the time, and I believe might still be in existence today, our only federal credit union, recognizing that as an opportunity for us to create an opportunity for the advancement of entrepreneurial spirit for our members, but also for the community. And then if you look even further than that, something I was most proud of and something that we'll cement in the not too distant future. It was in 2020 at our September board meeting that the fraternity recognized that it was very important that we not only redevelop our international headquarters, but we also look for an opportunity for affordable housing. Many initiatives that we put in place, Sigma Business Week, the Black Spin, and even further than that, it was an opportunity for us to really amplify our initiative. And so when you think about the work of the fraternity, you think about the essence of the fraternity, we knew that economic empowerment was the centerpiece of our existence, and we also knew that it would be something that would really advance our presence within the community.
Team members, are you co-signing on those statements? Anything to contribute to that? Brother Slush, you look like you have something you need to say.
Absolutely. I can't say more than Brother Crystal just stated. We see as a continuing advancement of the initiative with regards to economic empowerment, financial literacy, small business development, small business support, and making sure that the community understands how important it is for Blacks to support the businesses. So what we understand is that the dollar only churns 6 minutes in the Black community, whether it churns 28 days in the Asian community. So there's drastically different approaches to spending money and supporting businesses. So it's vitally important that we continue Phi Beta Sigma to amplify and to ensure that our community understands that we need to support business and economic development.
Brother Ray, that program was started just before the Great Depression.
Right.
Now we're still here coming out of the Great Recession. What's the historical impact of having these types of programs through all of the trauma that the communities have faced?
So, I think that, Phi Beta Sigma got it right very early. We recognize that the freedoms that individuals wanted to experience with their families or just in society, that if you don't have the economic freedom to do that, then it creates other barriers. And so when you think about the fact that going into or coming out of the Great Depression during that time period, and even where we are today economically, the message is still the same. How do you continue to make sure that you encourage entrepreneurship? How do you continue to make sure that we find ways to support one another's businesses while at the same time making sure that you lay the blueprint for the next generation? Because if history has taught us anything, the economy will always be cyclical in challenges, right? It will be up, it will be down, it'll be up, it'll be down. So how do you weather that storm or weather those trends? And it comes from understanding economics, continue to be trained in economics, and understanding the market. And I think the Phi Beta Sigma has done a great job of doing that for almost 100 years.
Brother Faison, we've said twice now of making sure that we retain this information. And we've spoken twice about the new generation. I'm going to give you credit for being a little bit younger. And I'm going to ask you, why is it important? Why is that type of history important for the next generation?
I think it's very important. For one, if you don't know the history of our organization, majority of our chapters are from historical Black colleges and universities. Just as Chairman Bryant talks about credit scores, the impact that we have as an organization to empower those campuses that we are surrounded ourselves with, and our brothers that we bring through our organization, but also our relationship with our Divine Nine membership, to be able to bring economic opportunities for college students. Very few times do we really talk about empowering college students to learn how to do business. Usually we catch it at 40 and 30. But it's so important with our Sigma Beta Club that we have in our organization, that we're focusing on teaching young people the ins and outs of business. And so now with the partnership with Operation Hope and the Business in a Box program that this program has, the small business development program, we can align not only our Sigma Betas, but our collegiate members, because really one of the things that I've learned as a business owner is you can talk a lot, but one of the biggest things is when you write checks, people listen to you. And so one of the things that we want to engage from this relationship, Operation Hope, is that we can engage folks and engage our membership at a very early age, that we not only have entrepreneurs, but we build more entrepreneurs.
When he says Sigma Betas, and we want to make sure that everyone knows what that is, that's our youth mentoring program for young men from the ages of 8 to 18. And a little known history, we've been doing it now for 70 years, mentoring young boys for 70 years. So when you think about today, where everyone talks about, mentoring young Black and brown boys in America or just in general, Phi Beta Sigma has been doing it now for 70 years. So this is nothing new to us.
Brother Crystal, before we segue on, any closing statements on the history?
Yeah, I just think it's important that we recognize that this is not new for us. When you think about having an opportunity to really collaborate with Operation Hope, what a great marriage. When you think about entrepreneurship, when you think about creating a pathway for certainly our members, but even more importantly, within the community, As our president said, we've been doing this for almost 100 years. And I think it's always important for us to remember in 1924, again, we were only 10 years old, but our young members, who in some cases were alumni, in most cases I would suspect were collegians, but recognized then that we had a huge opportunity and responsibility to create a better community. But we knew even at that time, economic development was the centerpiece of it. Yeah. And we've been grinding that for almost 100 years. And I'm extremely proud of the position that we're in to continue this path forward.
Thank you, gentlemen. We've alluded to a lot of programs and initiatives that Phi Beta Sigma has sponsored throughout the 100-year period of time. We have a short video we want to show you, and then we have a little bit more exposition for you. Video number 2.
Today, Phi Beta Sigma continues to build upon the legacy established through a Bigger and Better Business program with programs such as Project Seed, Sigma Economic Empowerment Development, which promotes financial literacy and sustainability in underserved communities. Our Black Spend Initiative, a program that calls on the international organization, our chapters, and members to actively promote and patronize Black-owned businesses and document their spending at Black-owned businesses throughout the year. Adopt a Business Initiative, which directs our chapters to assist Black-owned businesses with their development, promotion, and growth by establishing relationships with local Black-owned businesses and help them improve their business acumen, efficiency, and service to the public. And Sigma Business Initiatives, a collection of programs that include our Phi Beta Sigma Credit Union, a full-service financial services provider serving Sigmas, Zetas, and their families internationally, and our Billboard Jackson Entrepreneurial Development Grant Program, designed to invest in members of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated who wish to start a business.
Brother Slush, that's a lot of info. Phi Beta Sigma has launched several entrepreneurial and business-focused initiatives within the various communities since our founding. What help is needed by the fraternity to continue its push for business growth during the 21st century?
Okay, let me reflect on the video that you just saw. It kind of details the essence of our Bigger and Better Business program. The Project Seed, which is our chapters are out there pushing financial literacy concerns, credit, everything across the board to our communities and to our members, elevating the business, the financial literacy acumen of the people involved. Adopt a business. Adopt a business is, our chapters are out there adopting businesses, developing close relationships with small Black businesses in the community, also offering business acumen, marketing, different and the like, and developing close relationships with those businesses. Black Spend, we're actually recording and detailing our spend within the community because we want to be the example for our communities and be able to communicate to the community that we're committed to overall investment in our own businesses. The Billboard Jackson Entrepreneur Program, solid program that has really accelerated in the past few years, where we actually have a business pitch competition just like yesterday, where we have a $20,000 grant to both an alumni and a collegiate member. And it has gained velocity and acceleration and an excitement to where it's very competitive and I'm quite proud of it. But what you see is all of these programs and the push that we made to the communities has positioned us greatly to be the obvious partner for 1 Million Black Business and the Hope Foundation. We can actually push this acceleration into the communities and offer the 1 Million Black Business Program to meet our commitment of 1,000 businesses by 2030. I have no doubt that Phi Beta Sigma will deliver.
We have our own business network, we do. What's the encouragement for others to create a similar network that supports the community? I mean,
that's pretty obvious, Brother Anderson, is that we have a Sigma Business Network with over 300 businesses where we share ideas, we share concepts, and we offer ourselves to other brothers. Myself being a business owner, I have countless encounters and countless relationships across the country. And I know the power of that network and those relationships evolve into even inspiring other brothers to take the entrepreneurial plunge. So we should all, every group out here should take the opportunity to develop likewise relationships, and all of us together can connect and develop a larger network.
Brother Ray, you've been a mayor. You know the significance of business in the community to sustain those communities. How do we link what we're doing to the other communities and show that Phi Beta Sigma is real about this concept?
Well, I think we're doing a lot of that now, exposing who we are. I'm sure that today there are individuals who are sitting in here who probably didn't know about Phi Beta Sigma and know about the programs that we're doing. So having this opportunity to be on this stage gives us an opportunity to tell our story and to be a potential partner for you as you look at the businesses that you are doing or the programs that you have and saying, you know, this organization is doing this. Our network literally spans the globe. Last night in my speech, when I talked about our commitment to the 1 Million Black Business Initiative, I shared with everyone, we have over 600 chapters around the world. Phi Beta Sigma touches a lot of individuals, and we're in a lot of communities, but specifically here in North America, of course, because this is where we were founded. So when we have opportunities to partner with local governments or opportunities to partner with businesses who are passionate about creating additional pathways for individuals who are truly born to be entrepreneurs, and also just making sure that we lay the groundwork for individuals that are passionate about making sure that folks are in a strong economic position. And so it's really about continued exposure. It's continued about, for us as organizations, making sure that we're utilizing the platforms that we have to tell our story, and then working with those individuals who are interested in being with Phi Beta Sigma.
Brother Crystal, you're big business, and we're talking small business, but there's a link between the two for Phi Beta Sigma, is that correct?
Absolutely. You know, very fortunate, very blessed to serve as Vice President of a Fortune 17 company, and recognizing that for our growth and for our existence, opportunities for collaboration with small businesses are important. But I want to build off of what Brother Slush said, because I think it's really important. The greatness of being a member of a fraternity or any organization is that we add value to the membership. We offer up and advance that your life experience should be a better experience because you're a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And what that means is, through our programmatic development, we create an opportunity for further enhancements of our members. We do that first. And then we create an opportunity to scale that within the community. So when you hear Brother Slush talk about Project Seed, and when you hear him talk about the Black Spend Initiative, and when you hear him talk about Adopt a Black Business, you also heard him say within our organization, we have 300 businesses that our members have an opportunity to support. Then we scale that towards now we're wanting to quantify that. We've made a commitment, and that is that we're going to spend over $1 million with African-American businesses this year, but we're just not verbalizing that. We're quantifying that. And we feel very confident we will deliver upon it. And so to whom much is given, much is required. And whether it's big business, small business, advancing principles within the community, Phi Beta Sigma since 1924 has been championing the mere existence of, we have a responsibility to make our communities better, and our goal is to do it through economic empowerment.
In fact, let me say this. In fact, we've blown that target away. It's beyond $1 million already.
We didn't want to brag.
Yeah, I wasn't going to break that news today.
We didn't want to share the news. We didn't want to brag. But, you know, I really want to, really quickly, again, build off of Brother Slush. And this is for anyone who is out here who, whether you own a nonprofit organization or you're in this space, recognize that, we're saying this, it's taken us 100 years to do this. And so it's about patience.
Yeah.
All those programs that we demonstrated, Brother Slush represents, he's the immediate past Bigger, Better Business Director, International Bigger, Better Business Director for the fraternity. Well, some of those initiatives came from prior bigger, better business directors that we've just built over years and continue to invest in because we recognize the value, as our past president said, the value of those initiatives and how they continue to impact the community. So just do know that it's a science to it, and it's not something that just happens overnight.
Brother Faison, you're not going to get out of this one. You're a business owner.
Yes, he is.
Brother Slush is a business owner. How do these initiatives work for the small business owners?
So I'm in a very unique spot in the state. I actually started my company out of the company. So I have a company called Spatial GIS. I'm one of the very few African-American geospatial CEOs in the country. And I got really my start here. Ms. Cynthia Harris in the Washington, D.C. office helped me start my company. And so the information that she provided with the business plan development, I took that same business plan and went in my region, the Eastern region, and won our Billboard Jackson competition. And so understanding that process and now being a little more engaged and mentored as a CEO, the practical principles of what we're providing as a Black business owner and the Black spin, people don't understand that process. We have brothers that are going to Black barbershops, going to Black food eateries that are actually taking their receipts, right? In each chat meeting, there are like 60 guys in a room. And what they're doing is they're piling receipts on the table and they're calculating their spend. And this is in with all the rhetoric in regards to the George Floyd situation. But do you see how powerful this is? That we are, when we are not just speaking it, we're actually doing it. And so I think that Phi Beta Sigma is in a very unique spot. I think when we talk about our partnerships, I think that sometimes we're very good in our own ecosphere in regards to how we do work, but sometimes the partnerships, if we can do this internally by ourselves, how powerful would it be that people in this room to partner with us to be able to make a bigger impact in our communities? And so as a small business owner, it's a very tough process to step out on faith and quit a very good government job to start a company. But I believe that I have the ability to write checks to universities, to causes based upon that. And so I think the programs like the Billboard Jackson program is empowering our brotherhood to be able to know that we have the ability to go out in our communities and make good change.
Brother Slush,
I love it.
business owner, can you close us out on this segment, please, sir?
From a business standpoint, as a small business owner, I've been in business for 11 years now. And the motivation and inspiration was freedom. We talk about, people chase money, people chase dreams. But economic empowerment and the economic foundation provides freedom and options and choices from my standpoint. This program embodies that, and we brought that to the fraternity. We bring that to the fraternity, and it's opened the eyes of many brothers in our fraternity. So, as an inspiration, I know we always talk, and I love when John Hope Bryant says, "This is the economic injustice is the new civil rights." And I actually said that exact quote, about 5 years ago, and as I delivered a speech and delivered a message to my brotherhood. So this partnership that we've entered is a partnership that's tailor-made to deliver these goods to the community. And I hope as we in 2030 we're sitting here with 1 million Black businesses, maybe a million and a half Black businesses that were started as a result of this program. This can be a defining moment in Black history here, and we're glad to be a part of it.
All right. So you've heard them mention names because Phi Beta Sigma has some iconic figures. And you've just heard them mention our newer brother, John Hope Bryant, and that's a beacon. That's a beacon for us in the business community. But we've had champions for a while. So I'm going to ask that they show the next video that talks a little bit about the names of Sigma that have led the way.
Underserved communities, and specifically in Black communities across the United States. They have championed the tenets of our Bigger and Better Business program in their careers through their commitment to culture for service and service for humanity. Sigma champions of our Bigger and Better Business program include Brother Herman J. Russell, a civic leader, philanthropist, and founder of H.J. Russell & Company, a vertically integrated service provider specializing in development, construction, program management, and property management. Brother Russell is the first African American member and second African American president of the Atlanta Chamber of Commerce. He played a leading role in the modern civil rights movement. Brother James Pascal, a legendary Atlanta restaurateur. His restaurant served as an important meeting place during the civil rights movement. Brother Pascal was awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award for Business. He was also inducted into the Atlanta Hospitality and Tourism Hall of Fame. Brother Devon Henry, CEO and President of Team Henry Enterprises, a multidisciplinary contracting firm that provides services including construction management, environmental services, wetlands mitigation, demolition, road and bridge building, and emergency response services. Brother Henry risked his life as a lead contractor in the removal of 14 pieces of Confederate statuary in Richmond, Virginia. Brother Donahue Peoples, a real estate entrepreneur, author, and political activist. Brother Peoples is the founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of the Peoples Corporation, a privately held national real estate investment and development company specializing in residential hospitality, retail, and mixed-use commercial properties. He is one of the wealthiest African American real estate developers in the United States. Brother James Billboard Jackson, critic, reporter, editor, spokesman, actor, and booster of Black entertainment. He was the first African American editor of the Negro department of Billboard magazine. He worked to encourage African American commercial development and industrial training for youth. Brother John Hope Bryant, an American entrepreneur, author, philanthropist, and prominent thought leader on financial inclusion, economic empowerment, and financial dignity. He is the founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Operation Hope Incorporated, the largest not-for-profit and best-in-class provider of financial literacy, financial inclusion, and economic empowerment tools and services in the United States for youth and adults.
Brother Faison, we can't do anything but smile. Don't smile. You know you want to smile. There you go. Brother Faison, how do we continue to identify and support efforts that are led by a new generation of men of color to ensure success in the development, encouragement, and engagement of entrepreneurial efforts in our communities?
So first of all, I think there's always detail in the video, right? And so one of the things I got out of the video was the word billboard, right? My generation now has to change that to silver. Chairman Bryant talks about this a lot. My generation and new generation has to focus on a different warpath. We just recently, in 2 years, had a new world. A new world with coronavirus. The way that we do business now is more technology driven. More people get on Zoom calls. More people get on Teams than ever before. And so one of the things we have to also do is champion. There was a conversation about AI and machine learning. We have to ensure that not only from a business perspective that we are training, that we are employing people with that skill set, that we're also empowering our young folks to understand that skill set. I'm in the geospatial environment, and that's a $9.2 billion industry, and very few African American industries. STEM is very important in our community, and so we really have to I think a lot of the video talks about construction management, right? In the book, the lean startup, it said sometimes we have to. So we have to learn to be more lean in regards to some of our business approaches, the way that we empower our communities. And I think even in business, it is so important that as a business owner, one of the things I think is the most empowering piece of everything is that we can actually hire. And so in building our communities, being able to show our communities and putting economic dollars back in our community are one of the biggest things as we start to think about things.
Brother Ray,
Yes.
we represent 12% of the population. We only represent 1% of the businesses. We've talked about icons, but how do you push people? And you talked about leaps of faith. Everyone has mentioned that. How do we get people to understand that it's okay? It's okay to become iconic in this process by starting a business.
So, I think that the economy always shows us that, people wake up every day, they go to work, they're trying to pay their bills, they're just trying to take care of their family. Somewhere along our journey of life, those of us who were born to run our own companies, you get caught into this cycle. And if you're not capable of connecting with a Phi Beta Sigma or a Hope Foundation entity, you end up staying on that cycle. And so I think that it's always important that, we continue to create spaces to be able to, again, to tell the story and to remind people that if you were born with that fire, that you have to be able to follow that passion. It just takes a reminding. And I mean, Brother Faison is a great example of someone who was working for the government, came to this conference 5 years ago. And I told him this morning, he made a post on social media about how 5 years ago, he was at this conference, barely could come here, barely could afford to be here, but he came anyway. 5 years later, he's sitting on the stage as a speaker. So had it not been for the Hope Foundation, had it not been for Phi Beta Sigma, pouring into him along the journey, he would not have been reminded of the fire that was really inside of him. And we just have a responsibility to continue to do that for not only just for our current generation, but either also for individuals who may have lost that fire along the journey, to remind them that it's not too late. We just have to keep on doing that.
Brother Crystal?
Yeah, when you think about our fraternities, our sororities, Hope Foundation, nonprofits, in so many cases, we think about them from a community service-driven approach, which is extremely relevant. But here's the reminder. Phi Beta Sigma fraternity is a business. Operation Hope is a business.
Yeah.
We employ a significant amount of people. The president will speak to this in more detail later. I said it in my opening remarks. We're in the process of redeveloping our international headquarters. We're doing it in partnership with Brother Peebles. We're doing it in partnership with Brother Devon Henry. What that's going to do is create jobs for many people. That's going to create an opportunity for that dollar to turn in the African American community more often. And so when we think about our work, which is extremely relevant within the community, let's be also reminded of the background, the backdrop, and that is we're employing a significant amount of people. We're creating opportunities for millionaires like Herman J. Russell to be millionaires sitting on this stage that will scale millionaires throughout this fraternity, which in turn create that generational wealth that we all want to create for our children. That's what gets me excited about economic development and what our members did in 1924.
And Brother Slush is excited too. He's just holding on to his knees. Brother Slush, you're a big fan of Billboard Jackson.
Yeah.
How do we get the next Billboard Jackson? Do we need another Billboard Jackson?
Well, I think as we continue to do the things that we're doing, we're inspiring young Billboard Jacksons.
Yes.
And we'll continue to do so. There's numerous younger brothers that have reached out to me and said, how do I do this? How do I make this? How do I formalize this into a plan and build it into, to define my passion? And I tell them, just take it in, talk to a number of people and just understand what we're doing as a fraternity, lean on some of the offerings that we have. We have seasoned brothers like myself, and we have a lot of brothers in between that can offer this. I wanted to speak to what Brother Ray said with regards to hiring and building that passion. I started my business at 48 years old. 48 years old, and I was tired. I got tired, and I tell this story because some folks out here may think that you're too old to start a business. You're never too old. You may have all the tools that you possess to be able to do it, but it's just taking that leap of faith. And so what I try to do is inspire people along the way, whether they're one of our 19-year-old brothers or whether one of our 55-year-old brothers. You can go out and do it. We've had brothers that are older than I am.
Yeah.
To say, not where I'm now, but older than 48. But to say that.
There's no one older than you now.
There's people older than me now. But I say that to say it's an inspiration. And with my personal story is that now I brought my daughter in to begin the legacy process.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So what these things can do, what these businesses, these opportunities, these dreams can do, is allow you to be the biggest dream of all and pass something on to your kids and have a legacy for years to come in your family.
Brother Faison, you link Phi Beta Sigma and Operation Hope. Can you take us out of this segue, sir? Close us out.
Yeah, so again, I came to this conference, right before we came to our conclave here in Las Vegas. And I sat down and I said, we have to get John Hope Bryant in our organization. What Phi Beta Sigma and Operation Hope was doing was so aligned. Mm-hmm. So I went to our international president at the time, Brother Crystal, and our honorary chairman of our committee and said, hey, I pulled them aside. I know they really didn't know who I was at the time. Really. I'm trying to gauge them and say, we got to get John Hope Bryant. And just to have Chairman Bryant in our organization, it's actually going to change not only the lives of people in Operation Hope, but Phi Beta Sigma. We're appreciative of Chairman Bryant being a part of our membership. And I think the engagement already thus far that our international president now, Brother Ray, is engaging with him in our future going forward, I think is right. So we're glad to be a part of the right relationship with Phi Beta Sigma.
Thank you. Brother Crystal kind of opened the door for it. Phi Beta Sigma is a business. We have over 600 chapters. We're operating in 8 different countries. And the future is bright for us. And so we have a video that talks about the future endeavors of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Of Phi Beta Sigma, I'm excited about our future. In 2022, we're going to break ground on a brand new international headquarters here at 145 Kennedy Street in Washington, D.C. But we're going to take it a step further. We're going to add a 35-unit apartments that are going to be affordable housing for this community. But this is just the beginning of Phi Beta Sigma's investment. In the future, we're looking at health clinics, we're looking at supermarkets, we're looking at charter schools, and maybe one day our very own hospital. Our organization is committed to transforming the communities in which we live, work, and play in. But we're looking for partners. We're looking for individuals that are committed to investing in that type of future. Because Phi Beta Sigma believes in empowering generations of men to believe in advocacy, community service, and engagement. Come and join us.
President Ray,
I got excited.
Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity is preparing to launch major projects, and you talked about it in the video, to serve communities such as Washington, D.C., where I'm currently paying my taxes because of Phi Beta Sigma, in the very near future. How can others join our efforts to serve our communities as we invest our time, our talents, and that project that they mentioned, that's Phi Beta Sigma's money that we're investing to push economic growth and empowerment, your term, sir, in the United States of America?
Give us your business cards at the end. I get excited, and it kind of goes back to the statement I made earlier. This has been a long time coming. Since 1924, when a group of men gathered in a YMCA to talk about empowering one another's businesses, to us truly recognizing that we are a business, to now creating entities that we know are going to employ individuals and transform communities. This is not a game for us. We are absolutely committed to making sure that we are not seen as just a group of individuals who just party on college campuses. It is so much more to being a member of Phi Beta Sigma. It is so much more to being a fraternity man, and people need to understand that. So as you, again, think about your investments, what are the organizations that align with your values? Take a look at us. We have been doing it now for almost 100 years in the business space, and we've literally been doing this since 1914, recognizing that you have to get involved in your community and understanding and putting your arms around it and then taking it to the next level. And I have to always recognize, I get the honor to serve as president of this organization, but make no mistake about it, there were multiple presidents who came before me that laid the groundwork for us now to kick the door open. And I'm very serious. There will one day be a hospital that will have the name of Phi Beta Sigma on the side of it. And I mean that. And that's what we are. But you have to understand that economics continues to be a big part of that journey. And us telling the story, educating not only just current generations, but next generations. And we're doing it from our Sigma Beta clubs to our collegiate members to our alumni members. So we are, as they say, we're not new to this, we're true to this. And it's critical for us to make sure that we continue to tell the story and find individuals who want to align with those values. And again, that's why Operation Hope is just a great relationship because their values are aligned with Phi Beta Sigma values. And I'm telling you, just look out. Just look out.
It was a great opportunity. I've been told we're getting ready to segue to Q&A. Someone out there, specifically someone from Memphis maybe, may have a question for our panelists. I'm turning it back over to our facilitator, Tess.
I'm professional with a mic. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I took down everybody's name and kind of getting faces to names. So this question will be to either of you to answer. American Express, Goldman Sachs, the Kauffman Foundation, many of them report that the majority of Black-owned businesses, roughly 97 and 98%, are one-man silos.
That's right.
What is the blueprint for getting to those businesses to help them to grow their revenue so that they can then be performing with employees and creating jobs? And by the way, I'm with Hope, so I'm looking forward to our partnership with 1MBB. I work on the federal grant side for Operation Hope, and I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts on that? How can we get these businesses to grow?
I think that, most of them are solopreneurs. And part of that is exposure. And we have relationships in those communities. We've got to get the word out in those communities to grow those companies from solopreneurs to employees, to companies with employees. And you're right, one of the biggest reasons why a lot of these businesses failed during the pandemic, because they weren't structured properly to take advantage of all the PPP and all the programs that were presented, because those programs ask you for a structure that facilitated there being a board, employees, and things of that nature. So most of those businesses failed at a phenomenal 60% rate almost. So what we have to do is we have to work hard to push into those communities and increase the business acumen and understanding of what it takes. It's very difficult, because I grew a business from a solopreneur and it's kind of daunting for one individual to think that quite possibly I could have 15, 20, 30 employees. They just can't think, but they have to scale. There's a lot of knowledge involved, and we have to get that information out to those companies.
So, just really quickly, that's why the 1MBB initiative is really great. It's very, very critical. A lot of folks who are in business, they don't take the time to come to conferences like this, or they don't even know to do that. I was born to make a widget. I can make this widget really, really well. I don't know how to get the widget to market. I don't know how to market the widget. And so one of the things that we're looking forward to in this new partnership is being able to connect individuals with the consulting information, giving them that knowledge base for them to be able to look at their product differently and how to enter the market differently. That's huge, because that knowledge is what a lot of young business folks are missing. Because at the end of the day, they see the end results, right? They see the end results and not recognizing all of the work that it really takes to get to that endpoint. And so that's one of the things I'm excited about for our organization in this partnership.
So one of the things I would say is that most people are unbanked. So when I started Space with GIS, I had 425 credit score, I had 700 credit score, right? And so if you're going, and the banks makes businesses go through so many loops. Like I have no debt, right? I try to stay away from banks because the banks make you go through so much. and so I think the idea of mentorship is key, but also very crass ways of financing in a way that when people are unbankable, because I was unbankable, but I had a solid business. Now we're okay now, but that first step was, no, I can't do this because I couldn't get funded. So I had to organically kind of build a business.
And to speak
There's
to,
another question. 'Cause we only have 2 minutes.
and to speak to, I think the use of technology is got to be key, because a lot of folks don't think they can scale because technology allows scale, right?
Yeah.
And some folks are just not aware of the technology tools that are available.
I know we've pressed on time, but I
No,
think
we are. We just
wrapping it. But her question is critical, because the question was, how do you go from a solopreneur to an entrepreneurial spirit to employ people? And you talked about big business. One of the things that I often hear when someone wants to come and talk about our company taking on their product, you start getting into all the details that Brother President spoke to, and we aren't thinking that way. We have an idea, we're selling something, but we haven't scaled it.
Yeah.
And when it's an opportunity to bring it on board and scale it, all of a sudden production, marketing, technology is not part of the conversation.
Right.
And it will never get there until we have this type of a discussion. So very important that we understand not just the vision and the idea, but how can we scale that? That's going to in turn drive revenue, which in turn going to create an opportunity for employees.
All right, I want to thank you. I want to thank you all for joining us today. I hope that we provided something to you that will benefit you. I do want you to know we don't take these things for granted. Phi Beta Sigma is blessed to have platforms and formats that allow us to push this word out to you, but it cannot return void. So we ask that you join us as we do what we do. We've been doing it for 100 years. We want to do it for another 100. We want you to join us as we get involved with this. I think we have a couple of minutes to be in the room, even though we're getting ready to get off the stage. If you have any other questions, just talk to somebody in a blue jacket. He'll answer it for you. Thank you.